Let's get it done. All right. Hey, everybody. You are listening to Ivancast podcast. We are on the air. I'm really excited about today's show. My guest is Canadian singer-songwriter Jasamine White-Gluz and her project No Joy. Welcome to the Jungle Podcast, Jasamine.
Thank you for having me.
You know, I am in the Amazon rainforest.
Really?
Yeah. I am in South America. I am in Ecuador.
Whoa.
It was a challenge to get internet here, so doing a podcast here is a challenge, and it's a really cool thing.
Whoa, that's cool.
Yeah, it's a rainy morning here. What's the weather like in Canada?
Oh, you don't want to know. It's really.
I don't want to know.
It's
Winter, right?
Yeah, it's like minus
Yeah.
24 Celsius right now, so it's just ice and
Wow.
snow and wind, and it's we're in
Wait
the
a
middle
second, minus 24?
Celsius. Yes.
Really? Oh
Yes.
gosh, that's
And
pretty
that's like
cold.
the average, right? Like that's regular for right now.
Yeah,
It's
I
bad.
know. Yeah. Do you like winter?
No.
Yeah.
No, I
I live
despise
in
it.
Germany, It's
Yeah.
also very cold in winter. And
Yeah.
one of the reasons I decided to live here is because I got really tired of winter.
Yeah, I feel like
Yeah.
I unfortunately mention it all the time. I always talk about the weather just because it really, especially here in Montreal, really dictates what you can do and what you can't do. And
Yeah,
um,
absolutely.
I'm a sun baby, so I just wait for summer all year round.
Yeah.
So we're in
How
it
long do
now.
you have to wait until summer? Do you have like 6, 8 months of winter?
I would say by the end of May we usually have nice
End of
weather.
May.
Yeah,
Okay. No, it's
yeah,
not that bad.
not so bad. We're almost there.
Montreal, right? You're
Yes,
from Montreal?
yes.
Awesome. I love Canada. I've never been to Canada, but it's one of the countries that I definitely want to visit someday.
Mhm.
My favorite comedians are from Canada.
Oh,
That's why
really?
maybe I love it.
Who's
Yeah,
that?
yeah, I love Harlan Williams
Oh,
and
yeah, yeah.
Tom Green. Maybe you
Oh,
know them.
yes. Yeah, there's a
Yeah,
bunch of funny people from here actually now
yeah,
that
yeah.
you
I like the Canadian sense of humor.
Yeah.
It's kind of fun. Yeah, I love it. Yeah, and let's talk. I was checking your Instagram. It's kind of the way that I always prepare my podcasts, having a look at my guests' Instagram, and I saw a lot of animals in your posts.
Y
Goats,
yeah.
cats. It's like a current topic. Yeah, it's like a current topic in your Instagram.
I guess
Uh,
so.
do you like goats and cats or?
Yeah, I never really thought about it too much. I guess I'm vegan and,
Oh,
try
you're
and do
vegan.
yeah, I try and do my part for, supporting animal causes, but also I think animals have, a healing, something healing about them,
Absolutely.
so especially during
Yeah.
the pandemic, I found it,
Mhm.
really nice to just, go hang out with a dog or a
Yeah.
cat or a goat.
Yeah, goats. Yeah, 2020 was a strange year, right?
Yeah.
What were so you mentioned animals. What were some other things that help you to get through that weird year?
Um, Honestly, putting out
Yeah,
Motherhood in
yeah,
August, was a huge distraction. It
yeah,
definitely, gave me something to do, something to look forward to, kept me busy. Um, and even though
absolutely.
unfortunately I couldn't tour on the album, it still was something that
Mm,
gave me a light at the end of the dark tunnel, I guess.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And it took you a long time, yeah, like 5 years to release
Yeah.
Motherhood.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I work pretty slow, and I knew that it was gonna be an important record for me, and it was something that I wanted to make sure was exactly I wanted it to sound exactly how I pictured it in my head, so I spent a lot of time working out every little detail on it.
yeah, yeah. And I mean, we can hear that. It's an amazing album. I love it.
Thank you. Thank you.
There's so different sounds and textures, and I really like it. It's like a story behind the album, or how has your sound evolved through the years, maybe compared to your last record?
I think I spent the last between full lengths, I spent time trying to figure out what kind of record I wanted to make. I also tried to
Yeah,
spend time thinking about how I work. What situation do I work best in? Is it being a full band playing in a room? Is it me with no guitars? Is it me collaborating remotely? So I was trying to figure out what the method that I liked best was. And um, for me, it was always working with George Elbrecht, who I've worked with on my past records too. But we just have such a good symbiotic
Yeah.
writing and recording relationship, so that was why I decided to go that direction on this record.
Awesome. You also play with your sister, right? In one of the
Yeah,
songs.
yeah.
Yeah.
We were like almost never home in the same place at the same time, but it
Uh-huh.
when I was recording the record, she happened to be in Montreal, so I was like, okay, I have to get you on a track. And then when we did the video, it was during the pandemic, so she happened to still be in Montreal, so I was like, okay, let's just do this. Like it never happens, so we might as well take advantage.
Yeah. Awesome. So did you grow up in the 90s? I don't know exactly.
Yeah, late 90s, I
Yeah.
guess. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I can hear that also. What are some of your influences? What kind of music did you hear back in the 90s?
I think it's such a range, but on this record, I was trying to capture what I was feeling and hearing in the late 90s, like 98, 99,
Yeah.
when there was such a like things were not always a particular genre. There was a lot of experimentation going on, and I believe the record industry was also at a stage where they were still giving budgets to artists to make experimental records, whether it was
Yeah.
Bjork or Massive Attack or Sneaker Pimps, any of these things. They were
Yeah.
creating these records that weren't really commercial and artwork
Mhm.
and videos that weren't necessarily pop, but they were having big budgets. I mean, even Radiohead falls into that. So
Radiohead.
yeah,
Portishead.
yeah, totally. So I was
Yeah.
trying to capture what I interpreted during that time, which was just like not really, when you get older and you're listening to music and you start to understand genres and oh, I'm a punk or I listen to this, but at that time I was just listening to everything and I didn't know what it was. And I was trying to create a record where it's like you don't know what it is. You don't know what genre it is. It's just like this
Yeah.
blob that could be anything.
Yeah, absolutely. It was also the time before the internet, also the 90s. No? It's kind of a special time,
Yeah,
especially
yeah.
now. Yeah, and
I,
I have a feeling that do you spend a lot of time on the internet? Because I've seen
um
you making
Probably.
Reddit AMAs and stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah,
probably. I hope
I
not
mean
more than the average.
you kind of know how it works, no? So it's
Actually, but
fantastic.
I'm
No?
not like that internet savvy. I'm not like that
Yeah,
tech savvy, but I guess I'm on there. But like
yeah,
because there's no touring right now, it
yeah.
musicians like de facto had to turn to internet promo even more than before, which is something I didn't really like
Absolutely.
to do, but it was kind of like a necessary
Yeah.
thing because you can't promote how you used to promote. You can't like record stores were closed for the first half of the year,
Mm,
and
mm.
you can't play shows. So really, the internet was where you could promote, which is why I had to learn how to use it better or try.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you? Because as I said before, I was having a look at your Instagram, and you joined Instagram 2012, I guess. It was the same year that I joined. The
Oh.
earliest stages of Instagram.
It's gone through a few like it's gone through a few
Yeah.
incarnations our Instagram.
All
It's
right.
changed a few times.
What was the Reddit AMA experience like? Did you enjoy it?
Oh yeah, that was great.
Yeah.
It's always fun. I mean, a lot of the people I miss being able to speak to people at
Yeah.
shows because often after a
Was
show,
the was it the first time that you made that
yep,
one?
yep, that was the first
Yeah.
time. Yeah, it
Yeah.
was
Do
really
you
fun.
remember the most interesting or the weirdest question that came out?
I think all the questions were great, and they were all people
Yeah.
that like really knew me and knew what this project's about. So there was no weird questions. Everybody was really chill, and it was super fun.
Cool.
Yeah,
Nice. And when was your last show? Do you remember before the pandemic?
yeah.
Were you touring before the pandemic?
Um, so I've played a couple like live stream things.
Mhm.
But first, the last show that we played, we did two shows in Mexico City in January of 2020.
Oh, nice. Oh, you were in
Um,
Mexico.
yeah, and I mean, I'm sort of the last show we played was at 316 Centro, and it was super hot. It was way over
Mhm.
capacity. It was like people up in your face while you're
Cool.
playing. And I hung on to that memory of that show because it's my favorite kind of show where like it doesn't necessarily sound so good, but it's just so fun and everybody's
Yeah.
having a great time.
Yeah. What
Um,
part of Mexico? We're in Mexico
Mexico
City?
City, yeah,
All
Mexico
right.
City, yeah.
Mhm.
Um, so those were the
Nice.
last two shows we that I got to play before everything locked down. So I'm very thankful for that trip for sure.
Nice.
Yeah,
Mexico.
yeah.
Yeah, cool. And where are you? Do you have an idea already? Where are you going when touring comes back? When we
Um,
can go?
yeah, there's ideas. There's lots of ideas, but it's everything is really day to day. You never know what country will be in lockdown or how to travel. So we have plans, but I can't guarantee anything because nothing is really guaranteed right now.
Are you
But
still under lockdown in Canada?
yeah, yeah, we
Or
are.
quarantine?
Yeah. Um,
Yeah,
but hopefully soon we can all get out to play shows and see shows again because I miss playing shows. I also miss seeing my friends, my friends' bands I would see
yeah,
all the time, and now I haven't seen anyone in a long time. So I'm looking forward to that. I don't know if
absolutely.
anybody ever tours the jungle. Do you get bands? Probably not.
Not really. Not
No,
in Ecuador. No, we don't really get
no.
that much of live music. Unfortunately, not.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. I mean, some big bands have been here, but mostly after I think Metallica was here a couple of years ago. They played here,
cool.
and some others. Yeah.
That's cool.
Uh, yeah. So, and what? Let's maybe talk a little bit about your project now. No Joy. How did it all start? Like, what was music something that you always knew that you wanted to do for a
Um,
living, or?
For a living, no. Like knowing, like making money off of music was not anything I was planning or do
Yeah.
or anything like that. Um, I think it was just I grew up listening to a lot of music, and I always had instruments, whether it was just like like a toy guitar or a
Yeah.
crappy
What
Yamaha
what what
keyboard.
instrument did you start playing? Do you remember?
I started, I guess, on keyboard, but like like just like
Cool.
a kid playing with it. I had a
Yeah.
guitar since I was probably like 12, but I never took lessons or anything like that. I think it just was that was how I used my channeled like emotions and created art was like through music. But nothing was planned or like I didn't do anything intentionally. It just sort of happened that way. I would always go see bands when I was younger, when I was like 13, 14, 15, just always seeing bands, having little
Mhm.
bands that you just in somebody's basement.
Mhm.
It just kind of like snowballed from there.
Cool. I actually discovered you on Bandcamp.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
Bandcamp's the
yeah,
best.
yeah. Bandcamp is absolutely best. What exactly is the Bandcamp Day? Because they make this.
Yeah, Bandcamp Day, they started those during, I would say probably last spring, late spring,
Uh-huh.
because it was clear that musicians were losing, losing their livelihoods. Because as we all know, in this current state of the music industry, the
Yeah,
most income comes from live performance for the most part. For other people, probably not, but like a big chunk of it comes from performing. And when you can't perform and you're just living off the pennies you get from streaming, and the
yeah.
record stores are closed, you're kind of stuck. So Bandcamp created Bandcamp Days so that on that first Friday of the month, they would waive
Mhm.
all their admin fees. So it goes directly to the artist. And then
Oh,
in doing
cool.
that, they created this sort of like record store day thing where you look forward to like buying something on one day, or you like make a list and you're like saving up for what you're going to get on that day.
Mhm.
Um, so I one thing that will stick with me after thinking back about the pandemic for sure is how Bandcamp like stepped up compared to some of their streaming competitors, where they really had artists in mind, and they really put their company out there to like support artists. And I really appreciated it, really appreciated it. Yeah,
That's really cool. Yeah, Bandcamp definitely rocks. I
yeah.
think they are based in LA, right?
I think San
Yeah.
Francisco, maybe. I'm not entirely
Okay.
sure, but
Yeah,
yeah, they rule.
really cool. All right. So, um, maybe we can talk a little bit about tech now. I would love to talk about your gear and instrumentation, your pedal board. Can you tell our audience how is the creative process? How do you create your sounds? What kind of pedals and effects do you use to make your songs
Yeah.
sound the way they sound?
um, I think it changes depending on what I'm
Yeah,
doing. Uh, Another reason why I miss touring is a lot of experimentation would happen there with my pedals. So I try different
yeah,
things every night. I don't have like a set. There's a couple pedals that I'll use every night, like a tube screamer,
yeah.
a ghost echo from Earthquaker devices. So those will be
Classic.
on like no matter what. But
Yeah,
then there's other things that I'll just swap out or try stuff or um, and that happens like in the live experience. And then after that, be like, ooh, that sounded good. So let's put that on the record. And it's a little bit different when you're just like in your apartment playing guitar by yourself to really like
yeah.
try stuff. I don't know. So I like to do I kind of like to not read like manuals or anything and just go on instinct and just like plug shit in. And if it's not right, then it's not right. So
Right.
I'll run vocals through a guitar pedal and guitar I'll put through like a vocal processor and just like mixing stuff
Nice.
up to see like
Yeah.
what happens when you like, you experiment with combining different things that aren't necessarily supposed to go together.
Synthesizers too? Do you also
Yeah.
play synths?
Yeah,
Yeah.
lots. I
Yeah.
haven't like transitioned into that like modular synth lady
Mhm.
yet, but like, you know, probably eventually. Um,
Yeah.
but there's, so many plugins that I'm just always like tinkering away with. Um, just yeah, just also I find I like to like, okay, I'm gonna try and make my guitar sound like a synth, and I'm gonna try and make my voice sound like a guitar. And then I'm gonna make the
Uh-huh.
drums sound like it's this. So that's usually how I'll start writing a
Yeah.
song, is just like finding a sound and then going from there.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's so much fun, right? Because there's so many possibilities now to create music, right?
Yeah. And
And
there's so many combinations that like you could really
combinations,
go
right?
forever. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, cool. So can
Yeah.
can we maybe break down a little bit more and analyze one of your songs? Can we get a little bit
Sure.
nerdy here on the
Yeah, yeah.
podcast?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe you can tell us about a little bit about the form and melody and harmony,
Yeah.
voicing, stuff like that. I don't know. Maybe what's your favorite song? Do you have like a favorite song from Motherhood? Um,
I mean, I love all the songs for
yeah,
sure.
yeah,
They're
yeah. But which one would you think is a good example to kind of analyze?
I think 4 is
Four.
definitely
Yeah, I like
yeah,
that song. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Tell us a little bit about that.
Um, that was one. So when I started writing, I was writing with George Albrecht. I brought in all these demos I had
Yeah.
from writing at home, and then we kinda, like, take them apart and build on them. And 4 was originally a song with, like, I was trying, different tunings on guitar. I was just trying to, like, find, like, weird tunings. Um, so, like, the piano line in that song was originally a guitar part, um, that was,
Hmm.
like, really, really slow. And
Hmm.
for this song, I actually think, like, I blacked out. Like, I don't remember how we got to where we were, but I really just wanted to have fun. I wasn't trying to take anything too seriously. It wasn't about, like, me telling my story. It was really just about, having fun, trying whatever, doing whatever we felt like, even if it was like silly in the moment. And that's one song where we got really silly. And then
Hmm.
we're just like, okay, let's put bird sounds. Okay, let's have a baby laughing. And it just kept escalating
Nice.
and escalating. And then it ended up kind of making sense somehow by the end of it, even though it was like really just like building blocks of like, and then let's do this, and then let's do this, and then let's do this. And then it ended up being what it is. But like, I don't know the steps we took to get there because it was so like we were just in a moment building that song.
Yeah. And when you are on the stage playing live, it is also very experimental. Can you maybe explain our audience what does one of your shows look like? live?
Yeah, live.
Yeah,
It's very loud.
it's very loud. Okay.
Yeah, we like to, I don't know. I've always really appreciated shows that are like succinct
Yeah,
and leave you kind of feeling like, what did I just see? What was that?
yeah, yeah,
So it's pretty intense. It's pretty loud. But
yeah.
we still have all the melodies and everything from the records are present. But try and keep it as sort of like an experience. That's
Cool.
you know can keep you distracted for 30 minutes, and then you're like, what?
Do you also wear costumes or
No,
something like that? No.
just shake our hair a lot.
Yeah,
But no like stage get-ups or anything like that. I'm
yeah.
usually just wearing whatever I was wearing that day.
Awesome. Cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I was looking. Your album was actually on the was on the list of Bandcamp the best albums of summer, right?
Yeah.
2020.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
they Bandcamp were very kind to put motherhood on a few of their best of
Yeah.
lists. So, yeah.
Yeah, Motherhood, an album that everybody out there should check it out,
Yeah, check it
especially
out.
here in South American countries.
Yeah.
We have quite an audience, here, especially in Argentina, Chile,
Yeah. I
Colombia.
I
People
wanna
are,
get
people
out
are,
there.
are kind of discovering podcasts here, so it's still kind of a
Ah,
new thing after
okay.
all. Yeah,
Okay.
so it's pretty cool, and yeah,
Cool.
people who love music are kind of listening, and hope you're gonna get some new fans from
Yeah. That'd be
South
great.
America. And maybe someday you will play here
I
around,
hope so.
Yeah,
I really
never
hope
know.
so. Yeah.
Yeah, when everything gets back to normal, if
Yeah.
there's a new normal.
Even if it's not normal, but it's just, like, safe.
Yeah,
If
I
it's
know.
still a little weird, I'll wear a mask inside, if everybody's safe,
Yeah,
but when the time comes, we'll know.
yeah, after
Yeah.
everybody has gotten their
Yeah.
vaccines.
Exactly.
Have
Exactly.
you already?
No,
Mm.
I'll probably be pretty late on the list here in
Yeah, is
Canada,
there like
but
a list? Yeah,
yeah. But, hanging in there hopefully soon, and very happy for everybody who's got theirs, and it's just, like, hopefully gets better from here.
yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. No
Yeah.
joy, ladies and gentlemen. Is there anything else you wanna say before we call it a day?
Um, I mean, I have a
Give us
surprise that's coming out soon, so maybe by the time this
Yeah,
goes to air, you'll know about it, but I'm not
cool.
sure. So just
Yeah.
stay
Yeah,
tuned, like,
what's coming up next?
a surprise.
It's a surprise? Yeah,
But yeah,
big
a
surprise?
big surprise coming out, so just, keep your
Yeah.
eyes on the socials or the internet or
Yeah,
whatever,
you
and
are on Instagram at
yes,
no
NoJoy68JK69, uh,
nojoy68jk69, right.
and then on Twitter at NoJoy,
Oh, you're also
Facebook.
on Twitter?
Yep.
Oh, I didn't check your Twitter.
And then Facebook, I think it's No Joy Music. You'll find it. You'll find it.
Yeah, and of course
Yeah.
Bandcamp and
Yes,
Spotify,
and
right?
Bandcamp for sure.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. Listen, Jasamine, thank you for doing this.
Thank you for having me.
A podcast. It was fun. Maybe we can play one of your songs
Sure.
if it's okay for you.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Let's listen to 4, no? After we
Yeah.
get out. All right. Cool. Thank you, Jasmine.
Thank you so much.
Have a great day in
You
Canada.
too. Thank you.
I hope summer comes along.
I know. Thank you.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.